What is the deal, beautiful people? It's your boy, Uncle Rizza. Welcome to the podcast. Today's topic, oh, look at this one. Slow down, son. Slow down. Today's topic is PUBG. I guess you know the narrative by now, the game that has taken the gaming industry by storm. This battle royale mode. I did a video a few days back about this, and I didn't really get a chance to sort of put you in the scenarios that really makes this game shine, and of course explain a lot of what goes on here. So first of all, I couldn't do a review. I wanted to, and I feel like a review is warranted on a game that has so much attention. Everyone just sort of wants to know what is going on around this game, what it's about, and it's tough to explain it, right? But I couldn't do a review because even though it just came out of beta technically on the PC, on the Xbox, it's still, oh, who the hell's shooting at me? It's still, I would say, in beta form, maybe a little past alpha. There are some issues, but it's gotten better in the last 2 weeks. I guess we're in a second patch, and I guess the game, as of recording this, it's December 28th, so the game's been out for about 2, maybe 3 weeks, and I'd say they're making pretty good progress in terms of cleaning up some of the bugs and getting it to run right. Now there are some things you can do, particularly two things you can do to really drastically improve the performance of this game. And I know a lot of us have seen the Digital Foundry videos and how it has this terrible frame rate. It doesn't live up to the 30 frames per second that was promised as yet. And I say as yet because I have hope. Now, the two things you can do, one is you can go into your Xbox settings in the preferences, and you can turn off your capture ability. Which is pretty much if you say, hey Cortana or Xbox record that, it captures the clip. If you turn that off, the game instantly runs more smooth. Perhaps not the smoothest ever, but a lot better than before. So that's a plus. And secondly, if you go to the controls and the control settings and sort of lower the sensitivity on the lower the sensitivity on all of the scoping and the aiming, the game is much more manageable. And I guess this comes from the stem of a PC port where, you know, it was made for I would say mouse and keyboard, so getting it to run on the controller can be quite a feat, and the game's super sensitive. So yeah, if you're wondering, the trick here is starting from the first setting to the fourth, you lower your sensitivity to 3, and then starting from the 5th to I guess another 4 down, you lower your sensitivity to 1, and the last setting, which should be a 15x scope, which I have yet to use, what the hell, you can put that all the way up to the max. So I've had a lot of the crew, the IGZ boys, dial in that setting and test it, and everyone seems to be pretty happy with it so far. We can actually kill people. We can approach situations with confidence, which is something that I haven't been able to do prior to these settings. So yeah, it's buggy, but there's also the frustrations of constantly getting dropped from the server, and there's this little mechanic where when you get dropped and you launch the game again, it says, hey, we noticed you were in the game over here, would you like to get back in? I guess that's cool, but I would rather it not kick us out at all in the first place. So there's random kicks from the server, there's random game freezing, and supposedly a patch went out to make that better. A server-side patch went out earlier this morning to make it better. I haven't fired it up to test, but I gotta shout that out because it can be frustrating. But what do we have here? This game starts on a large-scale map with 100 players. You have the ability to play with solo, which is it's you versus 100 other people. Survival, every man for themselves. You can play duo, you and a friend, or you can play squad, you and 3 other friends. And the premise here is It's open world survival, so you get dropped in this large map. You have nothing, and you have to scavenge for your weapons. You go in houses, you find weapons, you find clothes, you find medkit supplies, gasoline for cars and whatnot. And while you're doing that, the world around you is ever shrinking. There's what they call a storm, and the storm is constantly getting smaller. And what I like about this versus other open world scenarios or games like this is it sort of knits camping in the butt. You don't have time to camp because that world around you is forever shrinking. So it does a good job of, yes, giving you a lot of that open world flavor, but then it really forces the action to happen. And that's where it really shines, man. When you're running from that circle, you get caught outside that circle, you start to lose life really fast. But when you're on the run from that circle, that's when a lot of the magic happens and these crazy intense scenarios happen. Or even if you happen to be in the circle and people are running into the circle, you can, it's like fishing. It's like shooting at fish in a pond. But yeah, there's a lot to be said for that one mechanic in the shrinking world. I really do like how it works. And I found out later that the circle doesn't really shrink randomly. It sort of concentrates, it shrinks according to where the most players are. So that I didn't know, and that sort of changed up my tactic once I figured that out. So there's a little tip for you. Speaking of tips, what I want to do is I want to give a few tips I picked up along the way, and then toward the later end of the video, I've got some scenarios that I want to narrate to really give you guys a dope insight as to what makes this game special and just how super intense the game can get in these moments of survival, especially when you're down to the top 10, even the top 20. My number one tip for this game is to get headphones. I mean, right now you see me, the reason I'm laying here is because I was in this building looting, trying to get my stash up, get some guns and what have you, and I heard footsteps and it wasn't mine. And this guy is all around me right now. And I'm pretty much just waiting for his punk ass to walk in here, and that's a strategy. I mean, if you have headphones in this game, you are a step above the rest. And it is incredible, the sound design here, the directions you can hear vehicles and all that stuff. You definitely need, if you don't have headphones, you need to have your surround sound system all the way up. I would say all the way up, but you need to have it pretty high up there so that you can make out directions and footsteps and cars and bullets off in the distance, because that will save your life. Even when someone's shooting at you, you need to be able to pinpoint that direction using sound. So that's definitely my number one tip, is to get headphones. Starting from the top, I would say the way you enter the map is, of course, you jump out of the plane. I would say be mindful of the destination that you select, because the destination you select, there we go, look at this, I was able to get him. He was so surprised. He got one shot off, and just because I had headphones. But the destination you select before you jump out of the plane pretty much depicts the tone of the type of game you're going to have. You're going to be either guns blazing, immediate confrontation, or you're going to be in complete survival mode, where you salvage and you sort of hang out around the perimeter and wait for everyone to kill themselves, wait for those numbers to dwindle down, and then you engage. So there's that. Jumping out of the plane with your team, if you're playing duo or squad, I think is also super important, because there is there's strength in numbers. So you want to be with your team. It's a very important that you stick with your team. I can't overemphasize that. Here's another tip. You see me here, you're wondering why I didn't open fire. It's not always best to open fire. These guys obviously are heading somewhere. and we're going to be heading in the general direction, which is in a circle. So we let them go. Hopefully when they get in the circle, someone else will deal with them. And we kind of knew these guys were over to our right. So opening fire on the guys to the left will just alert the guys to the right of our presence, and we lose the advantage. And as you can see, we're by the blue circle, which is the storm, and that's going to be moving in 48 seconds. So the dilemma here is we got to deal with these guys over to the right before we can run up to the circle, or they'll just shoot us in the back. So you see what I'm saying about how it forces these situations that you got to think strategically about and sort of maneuver. But another tip is when looting, don't be greedy. I know it can be addicting to go in each house and see what you can grab and get a better gun and get a better that. Like, you're always against the clock. The storm is always coming. The circle is always shrinking. And the longer you stay in a house doing dumb shit, the more you increase your chances of getting shot or by someone coming in there and catching you off guard, or you just getting caught out in the storm. You don't want to do that. So my suggestion is, as soon as you hit, here we go, I got caught in the storm. As soon as you hit a locale, grab what you need and then adjust your play style around those weapons. If you've got a shotgun, well, you know, you can't always be inside, but try to hunker down somewhere, kill somebody, take their loot, and then free yourself. That's been a really good strategy for me. I tend not to really loot a lot. Instead, I tend to just get one really good primary weapon and just sort of creep my way around the map, or wait for people, jump them, and then take their loot, because you know everyone else is spending good time looting, so whoever I run across is probably gonna have some good stuff that I can take from them after I kill them. Another one here is, I would say, learn the weapons. There is so much to learn about this game. A lot of these weapons are very difficult to use. You see me picking at some shots from range with an M16 or 416. That stuff's not easy, man. It takes a lot, and it got a little easier with the control settings that I spoke about earlier, on top of the fact that the devs came out with a patch that lowers the recoil on all the weapons for the Xbox versus the PC. So that has helped a lot, but this game is still not easy. You're going to need to account for bullet drop. You're going to need to lead some of your shots. It really is a difficult game to play, and you got to learn the weapons, because based on what you pick up and how you adapt your style is how you'll stay alive. So you've got your assault rifles, your pistols, you've got your sniper rifles, you've got your shotguns, and even on all of those there are attachments. So if you come across red dots and scopes, pick them up. You never know, you kill someone and they may have a gun that you could attach that scope on and instantly increase your chances. So here's another scenario where we're in this house here and we're caught between the circle and the storm, and we got some time, a minute and a half to move. So these guys are over there engaging, and that's been a strong strategy as well, where you see people engage, just let them do their thing. And then here's another reason why we got the headphones on. Do you hear that? These guys are going ape shit, and I can tell they're very close to me, very, very close. So I go over, I tell Cartel, listen, if we run that direction, they're gonna shoot us in the ass. So we got to deal with that. Even though times are ticking, we got to deal with these guys. And as I get closer to the house, I can hear the footsteps of them moving around inside. So I know they're in there. I definitely know they're in there. You hear that? And of course, what you do, switch the gun to burst mode instead of single. You get in there and fuck everyone up. What's up, bitches? It's your favorite uncle. Run these pockets. And here's something that, like, you see how Cartel is looting. I'm not against that, but fairly on. This is late in the game. It's 16 people left alive. If you're looting, you better be looting for bandages, because you're wasting your time, man. We got 2 assault rifles. There's nothing else we need. You know what I mean? We're in a good place right now. Just perhaps a first case, a med pack, and that's it. So this has been a problem in the game as of late, and I don't say problem, it's just a strategy, right? It's all strategy. A lot of people hopping in vehicles and just riding around in circles, and supposedly the devs are supposed to sort of find a way to deal with this. I don't know how they're going to deal with it, but it definitely takes it out of the game a little bit. But vehicles are a strong strategy, especially when you're on the outskirts. You find vehicles and they transport you from A to B to C to D really quickly. They can get you out of some really sticky situations really quickly, particularly the van that we just saw. That one's got some pretty good armor on it, so it can take some bullets if you need to just hop out and lay on the side of it. Like this one here, the buggy, there's literally no protection on that guy. So if you see a buggy, you open fire, chances are you'll get him off of that. Now here we go. We're trying to crawl to the circle. Circle shrank yet again. The circle's off to my right, but they're deuce to the left. So we got to deal with them in order to proceed, right? And this is kind of a dynamic that we run into a lot. And, it's just about communication. See, he tries to hop in the buggy to get out of a situation, a sticky situation, but we're not having that. Get your punk ass off of that. Cartel's doing a good job behind me. He tries to run me over. Fuck him. You're gonna die tonight, son. And situation handled. Now, here's where you see what Cartel is doing. He's just standing there. That's a no-no. All right, those shots were fired. Now we know there's another guy over there, and he hit the ground. There's only 9 people left, right? We got 30 seconds before we got to cross to get in that white zone. So right now we can't fuck around. We got to blitz this guy or we'll never make it. And right before I get ready to give the word, he gets the Cartel first. And now it's now or never. And he got me. No, I can't express to you guys how intense these situations are. Another tip I would give you is to master the third person versus first person. I've heard some good strategies out there, but generally speaking, I stick to the third person unless I'm in a firefight. And the reason being is because of the third person, you can sort of see around corners, see over ridges, hills, see down, you know, a lot better than you can in first person. So it's definitely an advantage as to what's going on in the world, especially when even in the third person, if you just tap the L trigger once, it automatically goes to the ADS mode. Or you go to your iron sight. So I really like that. I don't really see a reason to go exclusively first person in this game, unless that's just something, you know, that you think just gives you more of an advantage. So here I am again. This is actually a solo, and this is a lot of what I've been telling you about headsets. It's just me. I don't have to worry about a team, so I know to any footsteps that I hear of vehicles or anything else around me, it's not me. It's not my team. It's the other person, and I know that I can freely engage or view that person as a threat. So right now I'm super concentrating. This is a super intense situation for me. I'm out of the circle, so I have no choice. The storm is about to close in, and I would rather get into the circle now than to have to be running from the storm and be getting shot at. So if I can get in the circle, lay down, establish myself, get some time, and sort of see where everyone is at, that would be my preferred strategy. So that's why I'm running across the field like a jackass right now, hoping to get in this high grass. Take a shot. This guy was engaged with someone else. He wasn't looking at me. So that was indeed a poor decision right there, because there you go. Now someone's shooting at me. So we get into this type of situation, but I have no choice. I gotta get it. I gotta get over that white line on the mini map right there. So keep crawling. We're down from 16 to 12, and at this point it's all about pretty much just creeping and crawling and keeping I would say keeping radio silence, everything quiet, no more shots from here on out, and just paying attention to whoever else is shooting and where they're coming from. and also looking for movement, right? Because you see me crawling in the grass. The thing about crawling in the high grass, you don't have a good line of sight. So if you ADS, you won't see shit. Also, for everyone else who's sort of in the grass, it's also hard for them to see other players crawling. Now, the reason I'm keeping my eye on that hill, obviously they have an elevation, and with elevation you can blatantly see me crawling like a fool. So you got to make sure when you're down low and you're crawling, you just got to watch out for people with a higher elevation than you, because you're an easy target for them. 10 alive, just got real. I feel like there was some shots over to the right for sure, but I didn't see him. And of course, the less movement I do, the better. I just put that waypoint there just in case the circle shrinks again. I have a reference where to run on my compass. There's those shots to the right again. No idea where that guy is. I don't want to risk giving up my position to go look for him, because everyone else has got to be hearing him. So this is a situation where I'm going to let them fight it out. Now, the reason you see me switch over to the UMP instead of the AKM is because I actually have a silencer on that UMP. So it gives me some confidence that I can pick someone off without really revealing my location. And there it is. The circle got even smaller. We got a minute and a half. I see this guy over here. We take a few shots. Yeah, I was definitely reaching with that. There's no way that 9mm bullet's gonna do anything to him over there. But I'm pretty sure he's gonna come closer because he has to get in the circle. See, I can just crawl and I'm right there, but I'm gonna wait this guy out. Shots to my left as well, which is why I crawled in this little cubby. Hopefully the guy coming down the hill will shoot the dude to my left, and then I'll shoot him. 4 alive. And I'm telling you, right now is when your heart starts beating like crazy. 25 seconds. Gotta go, gotta go. Alright. Got his punk ass. That was the dude to my left. Where's my man that was crawling down to the right? I have literally no health right now. And I don't have time to bandage myself. Well, maybe I do. Maybe I do. UMP on fully auto because it's close quarters from here on out. There he is. There he is. Well done. There's only one more. And the circle yet gets small. Oh, there he is. Circle gets smaller again. Now I see him, but he doesn't see me, so I'm going to try to keep it that way. Try to use this vehicle and this wall as a barrier. Now, in retrospect, I didn't know how to use grenades in the game yet. So what you're seeing right here is just a total failure on my behalf. Like, this firefight should have never even occurred. But he got me. He got me with the okie doke. That firefight should have never occurred. It was just me versus him. Down from 100 players. I should have tossed that grenade at his punk ass and roll out. But it is what it is. You live and you learn. Now I know how to use grenades. So to equip your grenades, you tap right on the D-pad. And there are various ways you can arc them. I think the L trigger does an underhand toss. So you can do things like shoot out the bottom of doors and roll them in the room. There's a lot of crazy things you can do. So what you're seeing here is Cartel and myself. This is Cartel's actually first game. And so I'm trying to get him used to the idea of not playing Call of Duty or Battlefield. Like, it's survival mode, you know what I mean? Like, you hunker down. And lucky enough for him, in his first game, we were lucky to be in the circle, so there's a lot of action. And what we're doing right here, the reason we're not killing him, listen, the reason I didn't kill him till now is I wanted to know if he was alone. And I heard the footsteps outside of his friend trying to come in to save him. So once we knew he wasn't alone, then we can kill him, get him out of here. And there's his friend. All about the strategy. It's about thinking. Sure, we could have just put another bullet in him, but is he alone? We really needed to know that. And we found out. Once we hear those approaching footsteps, get rid of them. And then we heal up again. Cartel is looting. This is actually the first time I have been lucky enough to be in a house that was in the middle of the circle. And I'm not sure it's a strategy I would do. So right now these guys are coming, and pretty much my idea is to just go outside and ambush them, because they don't see us coming. So we got one down. Ooh, he gets me down. Cartel is out to the left, taking shots. Now he's gonna come over here to heal me because that guy is occupied. He doesn't know if Cartel is still shooting at him, and his second priority would be to heal his friend, to revive his friend. So Cartel's reviving me, and double our chances. Like I said, your teammates are everything in this game. Very interesting strategy though, to stay in the middle of the action. It's really non-stop action. Like, people just kept approaching this house. It's a different way to play. If you're comfortable with your gunplay, close this goddamn door. If you're comfortable with your gunplay, you can definitely make it happen. Alright, well, he got away, but we're not done with him yet. Right now I'm a little concerned because I have no health, and I heard another vehicle approaching. So we got that guy that got away. Oh, the vehicle left. Cartel's taking fire. Oh man, I'm missing him here. He got Cartel down. So I gotta make something happen. Try to get out this window. What the fuck? Get out the window. There he is. So you see, he was actually going to set up shop to do the same thing to us as what we did earlier, which is use a down teammate as bait. But little did he know, I open that door, jump out that window with the double barrel. No soup for you, son. Let's raid him, see if he's got any good shit. And that was the end of that. Now here we got the whole squad. Shout out to the squad right here. We got Forgive. We got Mac and Evil. Yeah, Mac is actually dead. So what I just tried to do was surprise these guys. They know we're upstairs, but they weren't expecting me to come through the door. But that didn't work. I just got shot up like a bunch of times. Forgive is going through to flank the other direction. I'm telling Evil, let's just go downstairs and finish it off. Now that they're paying attention to Forgive, He got one of them. Boom, there's the other one. Teamwork prevails. That's all it is. I mean, I swear to you, that's all it is. And the more you play with your team, and the more you communicate, and the faster you communicate, you can get into these situations where, you know, people are paying attention to one guy, and the other guy comes from one direction, and the third team member comes from another direction, and you just sort of make it happen. Here's another sticky situation. So we're caught between the storm and the circle. And we are kind of in the open. So we're forced to be in a shootout. And these guys are hanging out on that ridge over there. We got some pretty good shooters on the squad. So from here on out, we pretty much just need to start calling them out as we see them. Make sure the entire team is aware, and just start picking them off one by one. And in this situation, it's about single shot. It's about choosing your shot. And this is not one of those situations where, you know, you don't engage and you let someone go by. Like, nope. You see somebody, you better shoot them. I think we're doing a pretty good job as the aggressor here. We're doing a pretty good job at suppressing teams. I don't know how long. And this is part of the intensity. Like, there's 9 left. That's about 2 teams, or maybe 3 teams if it's 3v3v3. And it's just about like, whoa, how do we continue the suppression? Where are they? And there it is, the deciding factor. So for sure we could have kept up that suppression and pinning them down and picking them off. We could have kept it up forever. We're some pretty good shooters, but the problem is there goes the storm, right? And that's the intensity of the game. You can't get comfortable hiding behind shit, because the circle is always shrinking. Look at the other guys now running. So Forgive was trying to heal our team member, but he couldn't, because he would have died in the storm. So in that scenario, it's just, well, you push on ahead and try to make something happen. So he's got 2 dudes down so far. So it's just him and 2 other dudes. Yeah. His heart is beating like crazy. I guarantee it. There goes a shot. He's over there behind that rock. So we got one guy. We know what one guy is. We don't know where the last guy is. Is he in a bush? Is he laying down? And it's crazy because you can see now it's a pretty wide open circle. So we know one guy's behind a rock, but where's the other? Oh. Where did that one come from? Oh, there he is. Kind of tough because they got the drop on him. They both, you saw the 2 different shots just now, you heard. They both saw him running, so they both kind of they kind of ganged up on him. This right here is probably the best moment I've had on PUBG thus far. So we have Tawan, we have Black Dynamite, JB, and myself, and we have been very careful because a lot of times we lose in the top 10 because it's just 1 or 2 of us. So this time we played our cards right, and we say, listen, we want to arrive to the circle, the small circle, the top 10 with all 4 team members intact. So it was a lot of strategic behavior that we did to get here. For instance, you see those dudes across the map. Could have opened fire, but we didn't because we didn't want to reveal. We didn't want to reveal to the other players that we were here. So it's literally 4 of us just chilling right here, waiting it out, letting it happen. In 30 seconds, the storm's gonna come in, and we're gonna have to get to the circle. But you see these two dudes in the field? We could open fire, but nah. Again, we don't want to reveal to them that we're here. So we're gonna strategically start making our way up. And again, we gotta watch our back, because there could be other players behind us trying to make it to the storm to get in the circle in time. But let's see. At this point, I'm gonna say the storm has been there for a while, so anyone behind there is dead. So here's the push. Here's the push we make. We start in the shade, and then we're gonna head over to these shrubs. Now remember, these two dudes ran in the house. That house right in front of us, and we have a decision to make. Right now, we're in the circle, and we can just inch up. But when we get a little further to that house where those two dudes are currently occupying, we're gonna have to run past them to get in the circle. So the issue here is, how long do we wait these dudes out? There you go. Look at the mini map in the corner, and that's a long run right there. And the reason there's a long length between the storm and the little circle, it means that most of the people are toward the other side of the circle. So chances are these two dudes in this house are the only two dudes around us. Now we're talking amongst ourselves. We're trying to figure out, okay, how do you guys want to do it? Do we want to go in there and just blast these two dudes and reveal to the rest of the map that we're coming? Or do we want to wait them out and hopefully they get out in time and we can... look, see? There they go. There they go. So they saw it was a long run as well, so they ran. All right. So we now get to advance a little bit with the whole squad, and not everyone knows that we're there. So we're banking on the fact that there's currently 15 alive, and it's all 4 of us alive. So we're in a pretty good situation right now. We just need to make it to the circle, get low, and wait everything out. 14. We see dudes running across over there. We see dudes to the left. I got gunfire to my right. That dude's down. Dynamite's off to the left. And the reason well, Dynamite went a little too far over there by himself, but it would have been a good idea to sort of separate just a little bit, so that everyone gets sort of a... You see Dynamite's down. Everyone gets sort of a... Ooh, JB's down, so it's just me and Tawan. Everyone gets sort of an angle. Oh, that guy snuck up behind us. See, that's what we were worried about. Hold that shotgun, bitch. That's what we were worried about, is someone sneaking up behind us. So he did to us what we did to the first two dudes. Now we can't heal JB because JB was in the storm, and I can't get over there to Dynamite because there's too much fire. So we gotta let the homies go. It's just me and Tawan, 8 alive. What do we do? We got 58 seconds before the storm's on the move, and we're not in the circle. Let's wait it out. Let's wait it out. I'm telling you guys, this is super intense right now. I'm just checking all my weapons, make sure they're loaded. Tawan's got a fucking bow and arrow. Keeping it medieval. Alright. I'm going for it now. I had no choice because that storm is coming. Alright, I see one over there moving. There goes the recoil kicking my ass. Now this is my fault. Alright. One down. This is my fault. I could have gotten a little closer, but he was looking at me, but I didn't want to chance it. Alright, Tawan is still holding steady across the street, which is good, because if anyone's sneaking up, he can get him. And he's got a shotgun, so he can't quite engage. Let's see. That was the second one we saw moving. Alright. So, we still got pretty good odds. Two of us. Oh, they're fighting over there. They see each other. Alright. Now it's when it's getting nice. Let's crawl in the circle. You see how tiny the circle is? We don't know where this guy is. It's 2v1. And I kind of like our chances. This is it. This is PUBG at its finest. Throw a grenade out. Just see if I can get his ass. Like I said, I'm still not the best at throwing grenades. I gotta practice that, but I got that one pretty far. That was smoke. Oh, still nothing. Still nothing. So the idea here is now we're rushing. We're rushing. I'm running to the left. Tawan's running to the right. And we're going to draw him out. Where is he? He's got to be here. There he is. There he is. Ooh, he got me. He got me. Uh-oh. Now he's worried about Tawan. I think he's out of ammo too. Yep. Tawan's reloading. Tawan's reloading. He's got his pistol. Tawan's got his pistol. That's it. Tawan's got him. Woo! Winning, winning, chicken dinning. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed the podcast. Hopefully we'll see you on the PUBG. My name is Uncle Reza. I'm out of here. Peace.